Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. My name is Reverend Kiya Heartwood, and my pronouns are she, her. And we're so happy to see you this morning for Volunteer Appreciation Sunday. So for a special treat, we have donuts and kolaches back there, and you're free to eat throughout the service. That's not the way we normally do it, but that's the way we're doing it today. And our first hymn this morning is different than what it says. We're going to sing A Spirit of Life. Molly's going to sing it for us. Number 123 in your hymnal. And please turn it on.
Church of the Brazos Valley, or UUCBV for short. And you can see what Brazos UU for short. I'm so sorry because I am very much aware of being able to hear. Again, I welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. A tongue twister, so we say UUCBV or Brazos UU for short. My name is Eleanor Ford, and I'll be your worship assistant this morning. We are a welcoming congregation, welcoming in the sense that we welcome and celebrate people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. We also strive to welcome people across the diversities of race, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We're also a congregation working for reproductive justice. So, whoever you are, wherever you come from, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. A couple of announcements. The UUCBV is going to Austin on March 13 for the Texas UUJM's Legislative Action Day. You'll meet your representatives. You'll have the option to have lunch. You'll hear great music. I hope it won't be drowning out everything else. And there's a link to sign up in the eCast, or Allison Fader can sign you up during coffee hour. It's time to show up. The second announcement is about the Side with Love t-shirts. We have a limited number of Side with Love t-shirts available to pre-order. Sign up today. There's a sign-up sheet on the table outside to have a shirt to wear for Legislative Action Day.
Our call to worship this morning comes from Ganga White, who says, "What if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If prayer our words? What if the temple was the earth? If forests were our church? If holy waters the rivers, lakes, and ocean? What if meditation was our relationship? If the teacher was life? If wisdom was self-knowledge? If love was the center of our being?" Ganga White.
Now, if you'll please say the chalice lighting words with me, printed on the screen. We light the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life of truth and meaning we share together. And now the affirmation statement. Please join me in that. Love is the spirit of the church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
So, as Unitarian Universalists, we believe there's a spark of the divine in every person. And so this is your chance to say hello, especially to the people you don't know. Hopefully you got your name tag on. And we'll take about 5 minutes and just say howdy to people.
I know this road will I know my fears will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. Looking for Allison.
Okay, how's everybody doing today? Give me a thumbs up, a middle, or down. Let's see. Woo! Hey, right on. That's a lot of thumbs up. All right, let me talk closer. Today we have a story called Just Help, and it's by Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Oh, one quick announcement. After my story, I know we usually sing This Little Light of Mine, but we're not going to do that today. Today, we're going to invite Rory up to sing a special song. So, Just Help, how to build a better world. Each day, when Sonia woke up, her mother asked her a question. How will you help today? Mommy was a nurse who helped people at a hospital every day. Sonia wanted to help too, so each morning Sonia set about to have a good answer for Mommy's question. One morning, Sonia knew just how she was going to help that day. She filled 2 shopping bags with candy bars, warm socks, nice soaps, sunglasses, pens, and notepads. When Sonia boarded the school bus, the driver helped her carry her bags up the steps. What's all this? She asked Sonia. We're sending care packages to American soldiers overseas, Sonia said. When Sonia got on the bus, not one seat was free. She did not know what to do. Then Booker and Sky waved to her. You can sit with us, they said, squeezing together to make room for Sonia. Thank you, Sonia said. At school, Booker, Sky, and Sonia emptied their bags onto a table in the gym. Many kids had shown up to help. For this service project, the kids sorted and packed the treats in boxes that postal workers would pick up later in the day. Kylie was extra happy to help. Her mom was a soldier in the army stationed far away. Kylie missed her every day, but it made her smile to think of her mom opening one of the care packages. When she was done, Kylie gathered up plastic shopping bags and gave them to Brooklyn. Brooklyn loved underwater animals. She was upset to learn that plastic bags humans dumped into the oceans made sea turtles sick. When she read about a worldwide campaign to save the sea turtles, Brooklyn joined in to help. She started a recycling program at school just for plastic bags. After the service project in the gym, she had a lot more bags to add to the new recycling bins. After school, Gabriella and her brother Lucas went to the playground. There was trash everywhere. Gabriella thought about the recycling bins. Let's make today a park cleanup day, Gabriella suggested to the other kids. They all agreed to help. Afterward, Lucas took a piece of chalk and wrote in big letters on the ground, "Keep our park clean. Please do not litter." When Jasper got home, he saw that his room was a mess, just like the park had been. As he cleaned up, he found brand new toys that he had never even used. Jasper decided to donate them to the children's hospital. Jasper remembered that when he was a patient there, he always felt better when nurses brought him to the playroom. He wanted to help kids who were there now. So he brought the new toys next door to Maya because her dad worked as a janitor at the hospital.
and he could take the toys to the playroom. Jasper's kindness reminded Maya that she had something special to give away too. She picked out her favorite shirt from her clothes drawer. Maya loved it, but she knew someone who would love it more, especially today, her friend Simone. Simone stood on the street corner with her dad and her brother Miles. It was election day, and they were campaigning for their favorite candidate for city council, who promised to build more schools and playgrounds. When Maya gave Simone the shirt, Simone was thrilled. "It's just like a sparkly American flag. Thank you," Simone said, and she put it on over the shirt she was already wearing. Simone and Miles were handing out flyers to everyone who passed by, including Samir and his mom. "Mommy, it's election day. Did you vote yet?" Samir asked. "Ugh, no, I forgot," his mom said. "Well, let's go vote," Samir said. "My teacher said your vote is your voice in the community." Samir wanted his mom to use it. The voting booths were set up at the senior center. As Samir and his mom waited to vote, they saw Kunal pushing John in a wheelchair. Kunal was there to help John vote. John lived alone, and twice a week, Kunal spent the afternoon at the senior center visiting John and sharing snacks. "Promise me when you're 18 you will vote," John said as he stuck his "I voted" sticker on Kunal's shirt. "When I was young, I was part of a great struggle to get the right to vote. Now I never miss the chance." "I promise," Kunal said. Later that evening, Sonia climbed into bed, and her mother asked her, "Sonia, how did you help today?" Sonia thought about the service project for the soldiers, recycling the plastic bags, cleaning up the playground, and voting with Mommy. But she also remembered the bus driver who brought her to school safely, the postal workers who delivered the packages to the soldiers, the poll workers who guided voters, and her friends who helped in big ways and small. "We all helped each other today," Sonia said. As Sonia closed her eyes, she imagined that everything she did was like the yarn and the blanket her grandmother had made for her. It tied Sonia to everyone around her, even people she didn't know, each one inspiring the next, knitting together a community that was safer, cleaner, wiser, healthier, and kinder. Like Sonia, her friends, and her neighbors, when we all do our part, we all can have a good answer to Mommy's question, "How will you help today?" And now I'll invite up Rory Chapman.
Lucy's was last asleep in a row, in a row. Then the wake up called the sun, wake up and grow. Lucy's laid one by one in a row, in a row. Stretch up toward the sun and begin to grow.
That's how we're gonna sing out. Everybody, just a little light of mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
There's no reading. It's just left over from old script. Nothing there. It's the Georgia design.
We had to get together on the script. It's now that we take a moment to reflect on our joys and sorrows and acknowledge the mutual support of our community. Please remember that our service is recorded and available publicly, so if you need to moderate your message, do so accordingly.
Anybody have a joy or concern? I got a couple of joys to tell you. One, Jim and Meredith Ball had their son, Joseph. He was born Tuesday. And I got into the Doctorate of Ministry program at Austin Pres, which is exciting. It's just 1 week a semester, don't worry. Anybody else got a joy or concern?
Elijah Russell Ward turned 15 on Thursday. So.
Way to go, Mike.
As a tree scientist, I'm very excited that spring is coming. The earliest Mexican pecans in our collection have already started to leaf out and show, so that means season's coming, and I'm not ready, so there's my concern.
We had a really good meeting with the construction team on the new church, and it's scheduled to put the skylight in on Monday, tomorrow. So it looks like, I've already been checking the weather, it looks like the wind is not going to be out of control because it's like a giant glass and metal sail. So they'll have a big crane in there trying to put the skylight on. Everything's set, we're just waiting. So we get the skylight, we're going to be running. We're going to be running. So, all right, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Anybody else? Joy or concern? All right, we'll light a candle for all the unspoken joys and concerns in our community. This is a special Sunday in that we celebrate all our many myriad of volunteers. I think we have a list up here of everyone who volunteers for the church. And we brought Kolaches and Donuts and various evil sprinkles for your enjoyment. So you're welcome to have something to eat whenever. You don't have to wait till after the service. Today we're focusing on celebrating the many volunteers who help make this church community go. Really, we can celebrate everyone who bothers to get dressed and drive over here on Sunday morning. The ones who sing and play, the ones who make food and coffee, set up the chairs, write the articles, show up at the meetings, do the books, tell their neighbors about our congregation. It is an awe-inspiring experience to contemplate. Just think about how many people it takes to make this place go. I was over at the new church building with Ken and Kathy and Charles the foreman and Brian the architect. There were so many details. I kept looking at this dream. I kept looking at that hole where the skylight's going to be and thinking about making this dream a reality. And you all did that. We are doing that. That's an amazing thing that we should celebrate today. One of my favorite lessons from South Africa is the concept of Ubuntu. In his book, No Future Without Forgiveness, Reverend Dr. Desmond Tutu writes, Ubuntu is very difficult to render into a Western language. It's in Bantu. And, it speaks of the very essence of being human. When we want to give high praise to someone, we say, hey, so-and-so has Ubuntu. Then you are generous, you are hospitable, you are friendly and caring and compassionate. You share what you have. It is to say, my humanity is caught up, is inextricably, somebody said that word for me. Inextricably. Thank you. Bound up in yours. We belong in a bundle of life. He continues by saying, a person with Ubuntu is open and available to others, affirming of others, does not feel threatened that others are able and good, for he or she has proper self-assurance that comes from knowing that he or she belongs in a greater whole and is diminished when others are humiliated or diminished, when others are tortured or oppressed, or treated as if they were less than who they are. How would we treat each other if we really believed my humanity is bound up in yours? How would we live if we fully believe the greater whole is impacted whenever someone is diminished or oppressed? At Lunch and Learn this week, we had Kinsey speak to us about Unbound Now. They're working to eliminate human trafficking, and they're right here in Bryan. They said there were over 79,000 minors in Texas alone who are affected by child sexual trafficking. Can you imagine that? So Unbound Now, they were talking, what an immense problem, and what dedicated supporters. How can we be more like them? They're getting it done, y'all. They're taking care of people, they're talking to in the schools, they're doing all kinds of work to make people more aware of this problem. They seem to walk with immense Ubuntu. How would we live if Ubuntu was our highest ideal? In the community where Reverend Dr. Tutu was raised, if you lacked Ubuntu, you lacked an indispensable ingredient in being human. You might have much of the world, you might have a lot of goods, you might be rich, and you might have position and authority, but if you did not have Ubuntu, you did not amount to much. Does that sound a little bit like the Bible? Corinthians? Yeah. You can almost hear the Bible in the background. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If we do not seek the spark of the divine in us, love one another in that way, accept one another in that way, and seek the best for one another, then we may be closer to being a noisy gong than we care to admit. So Father Greg Boyle is the founder of this group called Homeboy Industries in Los Angeles. They work with gangs. In his book, The Whole Language, he tells a story of a gang member overhearing another person speaking to their mom in Russian. And he was taken back by this fluency, his capacity to fully have a conversation in another language. He remarked with energy, and he said, Father Boyle picked up on this analogy, writing, we are on the lookout for a fuller expression and a wider frame within which to view things. Allow the extravagant tenderness of God to wash over us. If you need to translate that sentence into letting the divine within wash over you, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Permit the lavishing of such love to surround and fill us, then go into the world and speak the whole language. So if we walk around with Ubuntu and we think about the whole world and how we're connected, it's so un-American. This is practically communist. I can hear my grandfather saying, Kiya, you are a communist. So Boyle relates when he sees and hears that homeboy to the concept of Ubuntu. He says, when you meet and welcome someone, you say, I see you. The other person says, now that you see me, I'm here. You're here. You're here. I see you. Can you say that about the people in your life? Do you see them the way they actually are, with all their imperfections, and can you love them still? That's the trick, right? That's the challenge. When we leave here today, we might pass someone living on the street. Imagine if we sought to look at each other person experiencing homelessness with a posture that says, I see you. Can you imagine how racism would end if we all sought to fully see and love the divine spark within each person we meet, even ourselves? Can we practice self-love in an Ubuntu way? I think for a lot of us in this room, this might be really challenging. The idea of self-love or self-care is honestly hard for me to embrace. I was raised to serve and give to others, to always put others' needs before my own. Taking time for myself is somehow selfish. We take our cars in for regular maintenance more than we do our own bodies, let alone our minds or our spirits. Taking care of myself not only makes me able to be my authentic self, it makes me easier to be loved by others. Meg can tell you, if I am tired or hungry, I am not easy to love. To be a spiritual embodiment of Ubuntu, we must engage in the process of being lovable. That means take care of yourself so you can be your best self, so people can love you. It's not that hard, y'all. If you need to expand it past your idea that you're being selfish, think about the whole picture. There needs to be a cultural shift in loving and creating our best selves so that I am well because we are well. Without a communal connection, as emphasized in Ubuntu, we lose perspective. The idea of the neighbor must expand to hold the differences around the world. As I begin my Doctor of Ministry program this summer at Austin Presbyterian Seminary, I will often be in conversations about reality of the religious other. I will be their first UU doctorate student, figuring out who I'm in contrast with and others and how I will practice walking the Ubuntu way. I hope to learn more about who I am because of what someone else is. This will lead to deeper connections. I know I will change. And change is always scary. Sometimes exciting. It's good fear, right? Yeah. In Hindu temples, they have a beautiful practice of offering gifts to the various manifestations of God. Hindus know that these gifts aren't actually going to be consumed by the statue of the god or goddess who is being celebrated that day. Rather, the gifts are shared with the living, with the community. We give our gifts through our volunteering and sometimes through Kolaches. A faith that gives us offerings directly to the community, that is Ubuntu at work. If we follow this, we become a part of the puzzle, a unique piece of a connected fabric. Through Ubuntu, we maintain our particularly without holding it above or setting it aside for anyone else. Rather, we make each other whole. There's no such thing as other. We are all neighbors. Love your neighbor. Some call for the creation of a platinum rule instead of a golden rule. That we should love each other the way each other wants to be loved. Think about it, see what you think. So I'll leave you with the words of Reverend Dr. Tutu. He says, we say a person is a person through other persons. We don't come fully formed into the world. We learn how to think, how to walk, how to speak, how to behave, indeed, how to be human from other human beings. We need other human beings in order to be human. We are made for togetherness. We are made for family, for congregations, for fellowship, to exist in a tender network of interdependence. That is why apartheid and all racism are so fundamentally evil, for they declare that we are made for separation, for enmity, for alienation, for apartness. Ubuntu enables reconciliation and forgiveness, especially when hearts have been inflicted with such pain. This is how you have Ubuntu. You are hospitable, you're gentle, you're compassionate and concerned. Go forth as a new doctor, conscious that everybody is to be in recovery, reverenced as created in God's image, whether inner city or rural. Go forth and demonstrate your Ubuntu, to care for them, to heal them, especially those who are despised, marginalized. Go forth to make the world a better place for you can make a difference. The task is daunting, of course, but it is our necessary struggle. Let's keep going.
Now let an offering be taken to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us. A community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This church shares the proceeds of the offering plate donation every week to support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. This month, we're proud to support the Arlene Campbell Humanitarian Foundation, whose mission is to provide medical supplies and equipment for health facilities in Ukraine, and to help facilitate training and research programs between American and Ukrainian scientists and physicians. Please be as generous as you can.
We're going to sing you a Nick Lowe song that was made famous by Elvis Costello called What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. As I walk through this wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity, I ask myself, all hope lost, they're only pain and hatred and misery. But each time I feel this inside, one thing I want to know: what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? As I walk on through troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. Where I'm strong and who I've trusted, where is that harmony, sweet harmony? But each time I feel it slipping away, one thing I want to cry: what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Okay, bob your head, please. Each time I feel it slipping away, one thing I want to know: what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? You got that part? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace,
We give thanks for these gifts which we have given, for those we receive, and for each other. May your generosity return to you tenfold. And now, if you'll please join me in extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Remember the way of the wind and breathe and blow. Remember the weight of the fire, sparkle and glitter and glow. Remember the way of the water and ebb and flow. Remember the way of the earth and grow. Go in peace. No,